And welcome everyone to our very first Dark Lord's Corner with Dark Lord Sekhmet Jakar.
Hi.
Dark Lord, would you please give us an insight to who you are and what you do for the Legion?
So my name is Dark Lord Sekhmet Jakar. I'm the official Dark Lord of the Sith faction here in Ashland, and technically one of the number two of the organization here. My job is to look over the other Sith, to organize them, to make sure that to plot, to scheme, to strategize all my evil schemes against the Jedi, to be able to also just be able to get the Sith motivated, keep them engaged, get them in touch with their characters, and to make sure that their training is coming through the right way, that we have every student is with the right trainer, and every trainer is with the right student, and being able to be productive, to be able to accomplish all of the goals that are necessary for the Legion this year.
You brought up a great point that we didn't get the chance to ask primary. You talked about putting people and helping people find out who they are. Can you give us a bit about how you do that, how the Legion goes about putting people as Jedi or Sith and what they would be?
Well, it starts with a list of questions, kind of like a personality test. It's a little bit more invasive than just that. It's not just a answer yes or no here, or like here's a list of choices and you just push the right one. It's a little bit more involved than that. At least mine are. Mine are notorious for being very long, but I'm a very long-winded person, as you guys are about to find out. So it's one of those kind of things that kind of just work hand in hand. But what happens is we ask the students the question, an honest question. We want them to answer as honestly as possible. Sometimes I will ask additional follow-up questions if I feel like you're not being entirely honest, or if I feel like you're kind of holding back on something. And then basically once we've asked those questions, and there's a whole litany of them, there's about anywhere between 15 to 25 questions, we are able to figure out, okay, are you going to be a Jedi, or are we going to be a Sith? And then depending on which answer you choose, because your personal choice does matter a lot into this, we will give you our best recommendation of where we think you need to be. But at the end of the day, you, the student, will be the one who ultimately decides where they should be, where they want to be. And then we will give you enough time to kind of figure out if that's the right place for you, or if you need to, or in the words of a famous poet, I think I've made a terrible mistake. And then we kind of put you where we want to put you. But ultimately, once we have figured out what faction you belong to, then we try to figure out what class you belong to. We have 4 classes on either side, one from the higher aggression all the way down to the lower aggression, and it's a nice sliding scale. And then we put you in the right house that we think that you best fit in, that you help a hand in choosing which one you want to go into, and then honestly, from there, we assign you a master, a trainer, all right? Because of the whole Star Wars aesthetic, we have masters and apprentice, but really it's more teacher and student oriented more than anything else.
Can you show us a little bit about what your favorite form that you've learned is?
I'm glad you asked. So I like to use Makashi 6. Now, I know that reverse grip forms are not a lot of they don't have a lot of fans out there, and that's okay. It's okay to be wrong. So ultimately, at the end of the day, what we like to do, is Makashi 6. You might know this as reverse Shien in some circles. Is very much has different variations. So you have the basic one, which is a wall. Basically, someone's attacking on high, low, mid, head, and you have that kind of aspect. It's also good for flicking at different points if you're wanting to attack your opponent. There are some variations that allow you to kind of like flow in and out as you need to be able to attack as you need to. But what I prefer the most is we kind of refer to this as boxing style. It's something that I've mastered. I was one of the first to actually ever do it. In fact, I might have actually been the first in our area. But essentially, I'm using Makashi 6 as a means of blocking, even when someone else is attacking. So when someone's attacking, your goal is to disrupt their flow, disrupt their energy, and be able to preemptively, basically the best defense is a kind of offense where you are saying no, and it's kind of fun that way. It's always been a lot of fun for me. It's one of the first forms I really ever mastered, and it's something that has given me a lot of confidence, and it's helped me win a lot of duels here.
Thank Thank you for sharing with us.
No problem.
What would you say for the month of May that is your most favorite and exciting part coming up?
I'm glad you asked that too. So we have a showcase coming up on May 24th. I think it's going to be closer to around 11 o'clock. Might be a little bit earlier. But essentially what we're going to be having is we're going to have at least 4 matches. Now I'm looking forward to the main event. That's because I'm in that. And I can't wait to crush my opponent, physically, mentally, spiritually, as I am known to do. So I'm looking forward to that. But beyond that, we also have 3 amazing matches coming down the pike. We have 2 students having their very first showcase match ever. And we get to kind of show what that looks like when beginners are starting their first steps in our system. We have a fantastic match between a Jedi and a Sith, my apprentice, Juggernaut, taking on Primary's apprentice, Ichi. I think it's going to be a fantastic little clash in styles. One is super high aggression, that's mine, versus very low aggression, that's Primary's. And I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be very hard to pick who's going to win that one. And then we have, of course, a grudge match between 2 Jedi. And I'm looking forward to that one particularly because as your Dark Lord, I love it when 2 Jedi attempt to kill each other. As a matter of fact, I think, really, we need more of that, really. So if any of you want to join the Legion to become a Jedi specifically so that you can go and kill other Jedi, I am all for that, okay? Feel free to comment below.
And talking about the showcase that's coming up, give us a little insight to, as Dark Lord, what you guys look for in a fight. So, kind of give us a rubric.
So showcases have 5 categories. Technically, there's a 6th one, but that's a little bit more advanced talk. I don't want to bore you on that. But we have 5 general categories, and that is control, form, accuracy, phasing, and my favorite, and yours, let's be honest, showmanship. So control, pretty self-explanatory. We want to make sure that when you're dueling, you're not actually legitimately hurting your opponent. Role-playing is fun, but when you actually have to go in Monday morning with a huge bruise on the side of your face and have to explain you got it while fighting under a bridge for your LARP group, I know that kind of conversation. I've had that conversation with my employees and the players in the past. It is not fun. So avoiding that as much as possible. We like to make sure that everyone is having fun and not hurting themselves or hurting other people. As far as form is concerned, we want to make sure that you're using your forms that you have accurately, that you are being able to show that you know your forms, and you're able to execute those forms to the best of your ability. Accuracy, very interesting for that, is actually less about actually hitting your opponent and a lot more about the class that you have. I mentioned before that we have low aggressions and we have high aggressions. If your low aggression class is going out there charging like a certain crazed general and being like, probably not a good idea. If your high aggression is very timid and very rabbit-like and just being like, oh no, please don't hurt me, probably not the best use of your class. So the accuracy goes there. Phasing is very interesting. So what we do really is less of a full-on combat sport and more of a game. And that way it's like a turn-based game. One person's attacking, one person's defending. And then what happens is you then shift who is attacking and who is defending. That is called phasing. So we like to see smooth transitions where you can it's like butter, man. It's beautiful. We don't want to have a moment where it's like, we want to avoid that, right? We want to make sure that no one's having a spasm. And then showmanship, my favorite and yours. Showmanship is really, do you have a character? Are you embodying that character? Do people care about that character? And are you able to show what you can do with that character? Basically, don't be boring. That's all we're asking. Don't be boring. And that's really, at the end of the day, what you're looking for that last one.
And as the Imperial Legion based out of Ashland, Kentucky, for the last little bit that we have, how can people reach out to us to find us?
I'm glad you asked that. Okay, so this is very important. We have a public page that you can find us on Facebook, Imperial Legion. Just look up Imperial Legion Ashland and you should be able to find us pretty easily. From there, we also have our YouTube page as well as our TikTok. So feel free to comment on any of our YouTube videos and any of our TikTok videos, and we'll be more than happy to reach out to you if you're interested, as well as you can feel free to message us on our Facebook. We have that open all the time. We always have somebody watching. you.